Well, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Happy Holidays to everyone. This is Jim's Table Topics, and this is our Christmas show. Of course, we're running late. I've been running late all year, so it is actually December 17th, 2025, and usually I do these shows like the first week of the month, so we have a running month, but we'll celebrate by the time this gets on the air, maybe 2 days before Christmas, and then we'll we can roll into the new year. So Happy New Year. This is always a good time of year. We just come off Thanksgiving, which is a great, family, nice big family dinner. Life is good and family's great. And kind of keep that feeling going into the Christmas season. And here we are at Christmas. So Merry Christmas. It's a good time of year. And, as Christians, and we Christians focus on Jesus is the reason for the season. And, we get little buttons here. Well, we're over here. Keep Christ in Christmas, and God's with us. Emmanuel. That's the Jewish word. Emmanuel means God with us. O come, Emmanuel. God be with us. And so that's the season. And it's been a tough year all the way around, folks. Huh? On a personal note, my oldest brother died back in June. It's a tough one. And so it's a first Thanksgiving, first Christmas, and even in the summer, our first family reunion without Big Bro. Big Bro, we miss him, and I guess that's what happens when you're, the elders of the family. So we have to try to carry on the traditions of, truth, justice, and the American way, and God's way is more important. So Merry Christmas. Yeah, the focus of the show will be, I'll try to get into some of the things that are happening today, but it's just too, the politics of the day. It's just a shame. It's just a shame where we are, and it's toxic. It used to be, it was partisan, then it was polarized. It's just basically toxic now. And we've had, in the last week, we just had shootings at Brown University down at some beach in Bondi Beach in Australia, and I can't keep up with all the evil that has been perpetuated around the globe in the name of not Jesus. Let's put it that way, in the name of not Jesus. And if there are any deaths in the name of Jesus, then they're not really Christians because they're not following. There's a book here called, The Myth of Separation of Church and State. It's very interesting. One of the things it claims is that, if you really want to find out about the essence and what the purest ethics and values of any religion is, you go to its founder and look at what the founder of that religion has done and how he created it. And what happens is, as you can see, people go off the deep end, and Jesus was love your enemy, turn the cheek, and love your enemy, and turn your cheek, and don't get involved in this stupidity. And so we all got to look at the bell curve. I don't know if you're familiar. I would think everyone who's been through school knows what the bell curve is. It's everybody is in the bell, in the middle. It's the average of everything. And then at the flare of the bell are the extremes. The people who get A's, and then it goes to the people in the middle, B's and C's and D's, and then the F's are on the other end. So that's the bell curve. So if you use the political bell curve, you got your right and your left extremists, okay? That's just the way it is. And most of us are in the huddled masses are in the middle. That's where I like to put myself in the middle. I mean, but, no one ever, sometimes we all, pop up every now and then and get, our emotions get away with us. That's one of the things we need to focus on, is our emotions. You have to let the emotions settle and then start focusing on the facts and the reality of the situation. And it's just going to be, and the media is great for jumping on the emotion of the moment and just driving home the fear and hate and anguish, and that's why we have what we have today. That's the polarization, that's the toxicity, and I've been talking about it for years, if not decades, on this very show. So when I talk about what's going to happen in 2026, if we don't wake up and smell the tyranny, it ain't going to be a pretty picture. But it's okay. We get what we vote for, and it's just a sad state of affairs. Sad state of affairs. So let's see. Okay, you know what? I'm going to just go into the good news for now because it is Christmas, and we say Hallelujah, which again, Hallelujah in translated means praise the Lord. So we got a lot of, we got a lot of things to be thankful for, and the Christmas season is a time where we should stop and reflect about the year and family and just the goodness of life, and try to step back from all this fear, hate, and anger and violence. It's getting pretty violent out there as well. So that's what we do. And so let's just start. We'll go with picture number one, if we can just slap that up there. So yeah, Christmas begins with Christ. It's all about the star, and that led everyone to see where the baby Jesus was born, all the way from the we three kings of Orient followed the star and got to Jesus. It didn't happen in one night. I mean, I think, by the time the three wise men got to the Christ, he may have been a year and a half old. I don't know, but at any rate, that's the story. And then let's go to picture number two. And so in this season, this is all about Advent. And so again, this is what the Christian faith is Christian faith focuses on is the love, the joy, the hope, and the peace that Christ can bring if we stop our selfishness and our egos and our sinful nature, because sin is sin, and it's I don't know what else to say. When there is no, when we're not focusing on peace, love, joy, and happiness, then evil creeps in, and that's what it's done. Evil is here. Okay, so number three. We'll go picture number three. Again, the birth of Christ was prophesied on picture number three, which kind of is the Isaiah's prophecy that says that a Messiah will be born, and it gave a bunch of circumstances, and that the government would be on his shoulders, and that's kind of what happened. The government was on his shoulders, the government of the Romans and the government of the Jewish hierarchy, the Pharisees, Sadducees, and the scribes. Picture number three, we're going to talk about the prophecy. For us, a child is born to us, a son is given to us. The government will rest on his shoulders, and he will be called the Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. And that's from Isaiah 9:6. And again, it was prophesied. There's over 300 prophecies in the Old Testament in the Bible that talk about the Messiah coming, and it's all focused right there to Jesus. So he's the center of time, from the Old Testament to the New Testament, from BC to AD, and the whole time space continuum. And the star dates, I mean, that's they broke it. AD, after the death of Jesus, and BC, before Christ, and that's where we get those things. And but at any rate, it's all proven in the Bible, and the Bible's not a fairy tale. It was written by there's like 66 books in the Bible, written by 20 or 30, 40 different people, and contrary to popular belief, they do not contradict each other. There are some things that people highlight, but again, they've all been disputed. The debate will always go on, but it is clear that the Bible is the inspired Word of God, and that's where Christians stand. So it is Christmas. So we gotta let's just put the last one up there, picture number 5. I just want to on behalf of me and my family again. I'm a Christian, so Merry Christmas and have a blessed New Year. 2026. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be what we make it. We all have to be responsible for our own lives here and our own decisions. And in fact, we are the sum total of our decisions. You can't blame anybody else for our bad behavior. Okay, we have to take responsibility for ourselves. FYI, it's not Trump's fault. Okay, but Merry Christmas, and again, we're still going to stay. I've got a video I want to pop up in a minute, which is it's a Christmas. I went to a Christmas. What did I do? I went to a Christmas concert. It was done by Mark 209. It's written on the shirt there, and they sang a song called "It's Christmas All Over the World." I really liked it. I played bits and pieces of it years before, but for some reason, I think this one may be like copyrighted, but we're going to play it. Hopefully, it'll get by the YouTube censors, but we're taking a risk. If not, we'll go back to the Hallelujah chorus. Hallelujah, praise the Lord, baby, and. But this was a great group, and I really like the song. And again, when it's the season's greeting, so I'm a Christian. I say Merry Christmas, say Happy Hanukkah, say Happy Kwanzaa. Let's all celebrate together. All right, whenever you're ready, let her rip.
The stockings, wrap all the presents, lay them all under the tree. Come light the candles, break out the carols, practice our sweet harmony. Do you hear what I hear? Peace and joy, hope and love. Fill the air. Christmas is coming and we've all been waiting, anticipating that great time of year. Gather the family and join in the season. Come every boy and girl. It's Christmas all over the world. China, a twinkle is found in our eyes. If just for a moment we take down our fences and everyone's welcome inside. Do you hear what I hear? Peace and joy, hope and love, fill the air. Anticipating that great time of year. Gather the family and join in the season. Come every boy and girl. It's Christmas all over the world. On your knees. Oh, and we've all been waiting, anticipating that great time of year. Gather the family and join in the season. Come every boy and girl. It's Christmas all over, Christmas all over, Christmas all over the world.
Merry Christmas, okay? And that just doesn't get any simpler than that. We need to just focus on the season, peace, joy, love, and happiness. And unfortunately, some people do not get the message because it's still the Christmas season, and we've got hate, evil, and violence in the streets across the in this country and across the globe. It's terrifying. Okay, but it's all in God's hands, all in God's time. These things are all predicted. The chaos and sin. The wages of sin are death, and that's another biblical axiom that we have to endure. But so that will end the good news. Of course, the good news, the gospel of Jesus Christ and the gospel of Mark, Luke, Matthew, and John. The gospel is just I think it's a Greek word that means the good news. So the gospel is just the good news. The good news of Jesus. He came and died for our sins. He was a sinless man, and that's the essence of the Christian religion. Like I said, the book, look at the person who started the religion, and his life and his teachings are what is true. People have gone off the deep end on both sides, but they're wrong, and they need to stop and repent and get back into under the umbrella of true Christianity and peace, love, and happiness, and none of this stupidity. We all make mistakes. We're all sinners, but I guess the difference they say between Christians, regular sinners and Christians, is that we admit we sinned and we repent to God and try to do better. We have the Holy Spirit to help us, and that's what we focus on. So that's the good news, and hopefully we can carry that on into 2026. We'll see what happens. But in the meantime, the bad news. As you can see right here, we got the Hollywood propaganda, we got the true story of fake news, and it says liberalism find a cure, but I mean, we got to stop and try to think about what the heck we're trying to believe and take action upon, So we'll see. We'll take the shooting at Brown University, for instance, okay? First there was no cameras on the campus. Now there's cameras, but they don't work. Oh no, we'll get sued. So we gotta, there's cameras, but where he was, they weren't really where he avoided the cameras. So we don't have many pictures. So the truth will eventually come out. And so the conspiracy theory on this shooting at Brown University, he used a handgun, not a rifle. So he was not there to have mass destruction, other than they think that he killed the conservative woman first, and then just shot up the rest of the place just so it wouldn't look like he targeted her, and then he left and disappeared, and no one can find him. So we'll see. And they also said that all the witnesses that were there said he shouted Ali Akbar, Ali Akbar, but they're not reporting it, again, because the fake news and the propaganda, it doesn't fit the narrative, so they can't say that. They're hoping that it's a white Trump supporter. That's all we can hope for. So we'll wait and we'll stop. I mean, all the other times, they have no problem. Well, it's a Tea Party person. It's a MAGA person. They'll jump right on that. But if it's one of theirs or one of their pet, then it's no. So focus on the narrative, folks, and watch out for that narrative. It's going to bite us. It's going to bite us hard. Okay, let's see. So we've got a few minutes here. So what do I want to talk about? The violence. Is it the gun? We've got 257 laws in Massachusetts already. And again, how many times I got to go over this? The guns aren't the problem. Millions of people have guns, and not millions of people are dying. The only people that are dying are the ones that are in the way of evil people with evil intent, and they're violent. Okay, so we got to find them and knock it off, and arrest them. And do what we can to stop the violence. Some of them are mostly mentally ill. I mean, it's scary that when you listen to some of these commercials on TV and they're selling all these drugs for this and that, and may cause you depression, insomnia, suicidal thoughts, homicidal thoughts. Oh, really? So it's like, do we need these medications if that's what's happening? Is that what's happening here? I mean, and the whole, well, eventually we'll get to the end of this. President Trump did rescind the auto pen pardons for a lot of people that were pardoned in advance. They didn't commit a crime. They're not committed. They haven't been, arrested and charged with any crimes. But we're going to pardon you just in case they find out the truth that you did all this crap. And they did do all that crap. And these people right here are doing their damnedest to keep it from you, because the beauty of fake news is that not only do they lie to you, they don't even tell you what's really happened. So you don't even, you're not even getting as they say, Paul Harvey would say, the rest of the story. They're not even telling you. I don't know. I could go on and on for hours, but someday I should write them all down. I mean, we got, well, let's see. Do I have a media lie about? Well, let's see. I forget what Picture 9 is. Let's just slap that one up and see what we talk about. The media, okay, so maybe we lied about Biden's health and Hunter's laptop and COVID and Epstein and January 6th and the Ukraine and Obama's his birth and his voter fraud, Russian collusion, and much of everything in between. But trust us when we say that Trump is a threat to our democracy. Of course, right off the bat, we don't have a democracy. We live in a republic. And again, I said it once, I said it 1,000 times. If you don't know what we have, how are you going to keep it? It's a republic. And we need to make sure that we elect people that represent us. And, like the January 6th, all the people that were arrested, on January 6th, I'll give you $100 if you can find one person who was actually charged with insurrection. No one was found guilty of insurrection because it didn't happen. They charged them with all sorts of other things, breaking and entering or malicious trespassing and all this. But no one was arrested for insurrection because it wasn't an insurrection. And of course, the new news that just came out, even I was deceived. I thought there was only like 25 or 30 FBI instigators, informants, and malcontents in there to push good people in the bell curve to do bad things. No, there was 180 of them. It just came out. So there was 180 FBI operatives undercover, and they were half of them were already in the building doing all the stuff that they charged all these people with. You can't make this stuff up. Wag the Dog was a movie. It's all just made up, and people, we're going to have to stop believing all this stupidity. I don't know. Otherwise, 2026 is going to be a disaster. It's the master of disaster. All right, let's see what we got. Yeah, I mean, these universities are celebrating, from the river to the sea, celebrating Hamas. And Hamas is a terrorist group whose sole mission in life is to exterminate the Jews, so they're anti-Semitics, and so you're supporting anti-Semitics. So when you call Trump Hitler, Trump's got Jewish people in his family and he's supporting the Jews, and you're supporting the terrorists that want to kill all the Jews. And it just doesn't. So again, if the shoe fits, wear it. You have to step back and look at what you believe in. And it just gets worse. The Massachusetts Teachers Association, I said this at the school committee meeting back in October. I said, I'm appalled that the Massachusetts Teachers Association put out a statement saying that we shouldn't investigate or prosecute or take any action against any one of our teachers in the administration who made fun of or made bad comments about Charlie Kirk's death. Oh, really? So we have to have, no, if they said something, it's okay because they're socialist liberals like us, it's okay. But, oh, President Trump, said something about Rob Reiner dying and saying that he was an icon and he feels sorry for the family and all the situations. But then he just said, well, he had Trump derangement syndrome. So, it's a shame. Oh, really? And then when you look at some of the things that Rob Reiner said, vicious, they were evil, they were hateful, and they were violent. What Rob Reiner said against Trump, MAGA, and people like me. But all he did was say that he had Trump derangement syndrome. That was it. Okay? And when you look at Charlie Kirk, I want you to find someone, they could find hundreds of posts from Rob Reiner with all the evil that he perpetrated and spewed out. Yeah, you cue up video number 2. But, try to find something that Charlie Kirk said. They take everything out of context, and I played the video before. It's just crazy how they cheat, lie, and steal. These people, fake news, they make the Bible come true because they take evil and make it look good, and they take good and make it look evil. So, yeah, you better start discerning what the heck you believe in and taking action on, because we're coming close to the precipice. Okay, so again, we got a video coming up. This is Jasmine Crockett. Okay, now, someone said, oh, no, we don't, it's all the Trump and the MAGA people that are causing all the violence and all their hateful rhetoric. So she said, so the video is self-printed. Just fire it up, and you can't make this stuff up.
I challenge somebody to go and find a clip of a Democrat invoking violence.
Let's extinguish him for good.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
We're going to fight it in the courts, and we're going to fight it in the streets.
When they go low, we're going to bury them below the Capitol. That's what we're going to do.
We take them to the mud and choke them out.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
We're walking down a damn different path. We're fighting fire with fire. We're going to punch these out by taking behind the gym and beat the hell out of them.
Now punch back, kick back, dunk over their heads, and win power.
Fight back, punch back, and make sure that they stay down. And you know what? Kick them when they're down, because they deserve it.
I think that you punch. I think you punch. I think you're okay with you okay with punching.
We are at war. And that's why the gloves are off, and I say, bring it on.
We are not only gonna punch you back, but we are gonna knock you out.
Like we're in a war right now to save this country, and so you have to be willing to do whatever is necessary in order to save the country.
Well, I am here to tell you, not only are we gonna punch back, but we about to beat you down.
And shut down the Senate! We are at war!
When they go low, we kick.
Even in states where Donald Trump won big, that it does you any good running away from Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
Let's make sure we show up wherever we have to show up. And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
Okay, and there's so much more. There is just so much more. Blatant, you can see it in their face. It's just hatred and anger. And they're stirring the pot of evil and violence. We're going to have to cut out clip number 10, or at least cut out, I guess there was they dropped the F-bomb in there, because they're vulgar and profane. Oh, Lord have mercy on us all. I don't know if you noticed, but I think number 8 or 9 was Ayanna Pressley, who is a lovely congresswoman representing Massachusetts in this Boston, Suffolk County, and whatever down there. So again, she's one of the crew, right? The AOC, Alina, and the 4 crazy, These people are inciting violence, yet they blame people like me and Trump and the MAGA folks for all this stupidity. it's I don't know when it's going to end, but I just don't know. God, all I can say is God have mercy on us all, because I mean I hate to blither on and rant and rave about this stuff in the Christmas season, but hey, we are where we are. I'm just I mean, like Thomas Jefferson said, he said the biggest threat to our form of government is an uninformed voter. So my whole mission here has been to inform the voters, inform you, and tell people that we're not a democracy, and our country is not supposed to run the way it's being run. We've had people try to have our senators and congressmen and state reps and state senators cite the constitutional authorization for them to write the bill, whatever they're writing, and they said, well, no, we can't do that. No, we don't want to do that. So they won't vote for that. They won't vote for term limits. They won't even do the audit at Beacon Hill, even though the citizens voted 70%. We want to see the books. The IRS comes right in, and they don't give us a second chance. They just come right in. But when we want to check their books, it's, oh, no, we can't do that, because it's going to look like the Ukraine. I mean, how many times have I told you that our foreign policy is the Ukraine, Hunter Biden, Joe Biden model? Is we send millions or billions to the Ukraine or any country, and then it filters through the things, and then it comes back into the Joe Biden's 25 shell companies, and then he distributes it to pay off the senators and congressmen to vote like a socialist. Or we'll pull out Jeffrey Epstein files and say, oh, do you want people to know about this? That's why the Epstein files are like, everybody's, it's like kryptonite to all the corrupt politicians. It's kryptonite. Man, oh man. But, it's all about the propaganda, gaslighting, violence. You saw the tape. You can't. The hate and anger from just those 15 clips are just brutal, and it causes people to, like the kid who shot off Trump's ear, and he was wound up and thinks he's doing a good thing. And what's his name, Mangione? He shot the CEO because it's all the pharmaceuticals are ripping, and the drug or the insurance companies are ripping everyone off. And the Democrats in the House and the Senate, they shut the government down for a month and a half because they wanted to make sure that Trump gave all that money that should be going to the health care and the system. They want to give it to the drug companies and the insurance companies because Obamacare was just one big fraud. I played a clip on this back in 2010 where I think it was Professor Gruber. If I could find the tape, we would have to go back to 2009 and find Professor Gruber, who said, the American people are so stupid they don't even understand what this bill is going to do, but they're going to get the worst medical coverage in the world, and our friends are going to get rich. And that's exactly what happened, and that's why, we need to get those subsidies to the insurance companies and the drug companies. They're stealing it. It's just a sad state of affairs. Okay. How bad are the lies? Well, the next video, we still got 5 minutes to the next video before we get to it. But, I think it's kind of funny that the press is really on its heels between, what's her name, Caroline Lovett and President Trump, just calling them out for their stupidity, their stupid questions, their biased questions, their questions based on lies and misinformation, and all these gotcha questions. And they just stop it. Where most Republicans and just go, oh, I'm so sorry, and they apologize. No, we're not apologizing. You are wrong, and let's do the facts. I mean, who's the Speaker of the House? Steve Johnson? I don't know, but he just gave a press conference, and I'm listening to it, and again, he's going over all these things about how the Democrats just want to, that Obamacare failed. Exactly for the reason I told you, from 2009, everybody knew it, but oh no, you conspiracy theories are lying, that's all right. No, Obamacare is going to be great. No, it just ruined everything, and the insurance companies got rich, the drug companies got rich, and people's premiums have gone through the roof, and it's Trump's fault? No, it's Obama's fault, and it's Chuck Schumer's fault, and it's Nancy Pelosi's fault. I think it was Nancy Pelosi who said back then in 2009, well, we have to pass the bill to see what's in the bill. Are you kidding me? And again, how many times have I told you? The bill had, 1,200 pages? And then by the time they were done, it had 5,000 pages with all. But after they voted for it and approved it, and then they sent it to the bureaucrats who fine tune it, and it came up with 4,500 pages worth of bureaucratic red tape caca that sent all the money to their friends and peanuts to the people. Peanuts to the people. Yes. That's what we get. And again, our tax rates go up and we get less. We pay more, get less. Pay more, get less. That's the name of the game. All right, let's see. So this next tape, again, like I said, between Caroline Lovett, Trump, and several people who have finally grown some intestinal fortitude and are standing up to the propaganda, fake news, and all this gaslighting from the liberals. And so this one is Lee Zeldin is at a press conference, and they're trying to tell him that there's no evidence. And he's already had press conferences before, and it's listed out all the things that he's done to save the money and point out what's wrong with the EPA. He's the secretary of the EPA, whatever. But the clip will speak for itself. We'll put that up. But yeah, the press, they do this all the time in and time out, and no one ever calls them out on it, so you're not really sure what's really happening. So let's just see Lee Zeldin highlight this one. It's not like I haven't showed you Trump and Caroline Lovett, but fire it up. We'll see Lee Zeldin.
So if the New York Times wants to say that there is no evidence, and Politico wants to say it, and Washington Post wants to say it, and others want to say that there's no evidence, see, I have a job to make sure that I don't waste tax dollars. And then for people in the media to be willing to sacrifice your own integrity and the integrity of your paper to make a claim that there's no evidence supporting it, well, I could stand here before you, and I just went through a list of how many things did I just mention? 10?
Lee Zeldin, who's running the EPA these days, is doing a bang-up job of just getting rid of waste. He's working with DOJ. They got. Can you get the numbers? How much waste have they got out of the EPA? It's, I think, hundreds of millions of dollars, if not more. But here he is showing you how you deal with one of these quote-unquote journalists, in this case from the New York Times.
Thanks, Lisa Friedman with the New York Times. Where has a judge said that this is fraud?
I'm saying New York Times said it, Lisa. Lisa, if New York Times is going to write that there is no evidence.
Not true, sir. We've written that that judges have not found.
Okay, over the last few months, Lee Zeldin, administrator of the Environmental Protection Agency, has made explosive, you know this because you wrote it, has made explosive accusations against the Biden administration, accusing it of insane malfeasance in its handling of $20 billion in climate grants. Now, as a legal battle ensues over those funds, many of Mr. Zeldin's claims remain unsupported and some are flat out false. Why wouldn't you write that there is any evidence?
Could you point us to where the judges have found that there's waste fraud?
Oh, see, it's not that easy for you, Lisa. See, because you guys are writing stories. These are your words. These aren't the judge's words. So if you want to ask the question, I'm referring to one of your stories. And this came out before the judge's decision came out. Now, if you were to, did you read the judge's 39-page decision?
Sir, with all due
respect. Have you read the 39-page decision?
We've read the decision. We are basing our reporting on judges' rulings before then and since, and I'm just asking you, sir, where has the judge found that there's waste, fraud, and abuse?
So you read the 39-page decision supporting a preliminary injunction? What? It's okay if you say no. Okay, that's okay. Nowhere in it does it acknowledge anything that I just said. It doesn't even acknowledge it. So if the New York Times wants to say that there is no evidence, and Politico wants to say it, and Washington Post wants to say it, and others want to say that there's no evidence. See, I have a job to make sure that I don't waste tax dollars. And then for people in the media to be willing to sacrifice your own integrity and the integrity of your paper to make a claim that there's no evidence supporting it, well, I could stand here before you, and I just went through a list of how many things did I just mention? 10? I don't know what the list is. And then you'll go out and write a story saying that there's no evidence of any wrongdoing. I have a duty to make sure that we don't light on fire billions of dollars of tax dollars. And I am, as administrator of EPA, not going to stand before any member of the media and get bullied into lighting billions of dollars on fire. And then you'll continue to write these stories that say that there is no evidence. Even though I could stand before you right now and just go through the list, how do you square that?
Yeah, that's how you do it. That is how you do it. You bring receipts, right? I always talk about that time that Ted Cruz was on The View and they're asking him about, oh, but you never said that when Democrats never deny elections, and then he busts out the paper and he's like, well, here we go, and then they all get MPC face, they break down. That's what you do. By the way, it is true that the EPA has cut about $20 billion under Lee Zeldin in only a couple months. A lot of it was in DEI programs and a whole bunch more. So you just stop pretending these people, they're not journalists. You think the guy with the brooch, do you think he's a Democrat or a Republican? Do you think Jake Tapper is a Democrat or a Republican? Do you think Dana Bash is a Democrat or a Republican? By the way, you can have your own private political beliefs and still be a journalist. These people are just not doing that.
Okay, you can't make this stuff up. They do, and people believe it. See, that's the essence of gaslighting. Okay, so what you just saw, I hope you understand that this is what happens all the time. You've got a Republican official who just cut so many billions of dollars out of the EPA budget because it was fraudulent and being wasted and not being used the way it should be used. And so he cut it and said why he's cutting it, and everyone knows where it was cut from. That's been done in the past before she even wrote the article. Then they sue him for doing it. They sue him for cutting it because he was, and those are the reasons and the facts and the evidence is because we cut these because we did this, and that, and we found this, and that. And so the reporter said, yeah, I read it. And then he said, did you really read it? And she, no, I didn't. I'd be fired on the spot if I ever did that where I worked. Yeah, I did. No, I didn't. But they just keep lying and lying and lying, and people, who's believing that stupidity? Yeah, you'll never see that exchange on network news, from the propaganda machines and the fake news and the gaslighters, So just to be clear, now let's be really, really clear, she also, not only did she not read the report, she actually wrote the story before the judge's report came out. She wrote the report before the judge's report came out and said that, based on other findings. Well, that's not what you said. You said you based on the report. And then Lee Zeldin says, this is what you said. The judge didn't say any of these things. Everything that I read that you said, that you wrote in the article, is not in the report. It's not in the report. But there are millions of people that believe it because they only hear it once and then they go, those Trump cabinet people, they're evil. Really? I can't, I'm beside myself. Who else is beside me? Okay. All right. So again, This is how the press works. Time in and time out. I've been showing clips like this since 2009. Okay, ever since they what do you call it? They rolled and bullied the Tea Party into non-existence. And I remember it well because I was on the leading edge of the Tea Party, and everybody, when I turned around, there was nobody beside me or behind me because everyone was afraid to say I'm a Tea Party person because they called them a racist and a fearmonger and a hater and a racist and everything, you name it. And they bully people into, I don't want to be associated with the Tea Party. I don't want to be associated with Trump. We have to knock it off and stand on the truth, justice, and the American way. It's, we can't let these lies stand, and this is what they are. They're lies, lies, and lies. And not only are they lies, they are hateful lies. They are evil lies, and they are violent, and they coerce or move people into violence. There was a movie back in 1971, I talked about this before, it's called The Parallax View. I think it was Warren Beatty was he was the reporter. And that's back when reporters actually researched the story so they knew what they were talking about. And so he was researching the story. Why is it that all these assassinations that are happening and the company, the security company involved in it is the Parallax Company, otherwise known as, that was the name of the movie, The Parallax View. And so what the Parallax Company did was they would hire janitors and give them a psychological test. And so they found the whack jobs. Oh, this guy's really whacked out. So because they gave him the psychological test. So then they'd set him up to be the patsy like they did with, the kid on the roof in Butler, Pennsylvania. He was a CIA patsy, and whoever shot JFK, what the heck's his name? I forget his name. But he was just another CIA patsy. They set him up like that, and that's how they find him. So if you watch the movie, you'll see how this works. And then so George, whatever his name is, Warren Beatty, he takes the test and he figures out what's happening. And he goes in and he takes the test and he's doing the janitor's work and he's sneaking around, listening. And he's living. He's not living. He got an apartment, and so they set him up and he knew what was going to happen. And he still just fell right into the trap. The assassin shot the senator, and then the assassin shoots Warren. The assassin yells, "There he is!" And then they shoot him, and then they go to his apartment, and the Parallax Company had already filled his apartment with all this hate against the person they just assassinated and all this rambling of a madman. And it was him all along. But we're crazy because we believe all this, what do you call it? Conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories are the truth. Again, what's the old saying? The lie goes around the planet 3 times, 6 times by the time the truth gets its pants on. So the truth, putting the pants on, is the conspiracy theory. That's what's happening. That's the reality. But the lies from these guys right here, the propaganda folk, the Hollywood, fake news, and the gaslighters. That's who's leading the pack. But that's why I'm more in tune with peace, love, and happiness and joy from Jesus, and I will not allow this stupidity to affect my persona or my family or anything else. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a couple of people in my family that are hook, line, and sinker into this. But we've had come to Jesus, and we've talked about these things. And literally it did come to Jesus because one of my relatives said to me, "Jimmy, you don't understand that politics is the be-all and the end-all of life, and the whole planet depends on the politics." I said, "No, the whole planet depends on Jesus," I said. That's what we need. We need more peace, love, and happiness from Jesus. More Jesus, less toxic politics. And and then so the person who I will not name, relative said, I got to go to the bathroom, Jimmy. Because we were all brought up to know that Jesus is the truth, light, and the way. And we all should know better and get back to our basic, get back to our roots. Because what else is there? Truth and lies. I can't even remember where I am anymore with these pictures. Well, you know, here's a lie I'd like to talk about, because actually at the you know, when we watch it's Christmas all over the world video, they showed a little picture of the Statue of Liberty with the fireworks and give us your huddled masses and oh, isn't it beautiful? But let's slap up picture number 13. But you know, these guys here, the fake news, the propaganda guys, and everything else, you know, they'll tell you about the huddled masses, but there's more to the whole inscription, and there it is. There is room in America and brotherhood for all who support our institutions and aid in our development. But those who come to disturb our peace and dethrone our laws are aliens and enemies forever. And that's Aaron Nabavi, who wrote it, okay? So, and this was written in 1886. So, again, the fake news and yeah, you can take it down. The propagandists and the liars, propaganda and the gaslighters, oh, we got to bring them in. That's our duty. Well, yes, it's our duty to take in the huddled masses, but the huddled masses have a duty to assimilate to the American way of life. It says it right there in the instruction. And so, when you look at someone like Ilhan Omar, she violated the immigration laws by marrying her brother so he could get in, and then all this stuff that's going on in Minnesota, it's just fraud after fraud after fraud, hate after hate, evil after evil. On 9/11, someone did something. Yeah, it's just, you know, I understand that, you know, you can, you know, they do DNA and blood tests and all this stuff, and they can tell whether whether you're from Europe or Africa, Asian, South America. They can kind of pin it down as to what your national origin is. But there is no DNA test or blood test for American. The American test is if you believe in the American values of truth, justice, and the American way, which is our Constitution. We are a republic, not a democracy. And we are bound by the laws as the the funniest thing in the world is when I hear our socialist Democrats say, no one's above the law. Well, yeah, that's right. So why wasn't Hillary Clinton arrested when she was told by the judge to not disturb, turn in those phones and those disk drives and everything else, and she smashed them and ruined them. And then James Comey came up and said, it was nothing. She's okay. No, she didn't commit a crime. There's nothing wrong here. Let's keep moving on. So again, yeah, all they're doing is saying, see, they project what they want to happen to us, but they're immune to that. They are immune to that, and if you stop and look at what's happening, again, like I said, when a Democrat makes a mistake, like all these people, like I just said, the Massachusetts Teachers Association said, don't look at what our teachers are saying about Charlie Kirk. Don't look at him laughing and mocking his death and thinking that it's a big joke and he deserved it and everything else. Oh, okay. Thank you, teachers. That's okay. But if a conservative added one of those things, they would be vilified and pillified for forever and a day, and they are, and we are. Liar, pants on fire. And it's that's just the way it is. And so, I mean, that's why when you read the Beatitudes and it goes through, you know, blessed are the meek, the mild, and the tender, and the heart. And just know that if you're being persecuted, they persecuted me before they persecuted you. Because, again, that's what the Isaiah prophecy was. The government would be on their back. And Thomas Jefferson, it's all full circle. The truth, Thomas Jefferson said, error alone needs the support of government. Truth can stand by itself. So when the again when the gaslighters and propagandists are talking about free speech and everything else, they're the ones that are banning people like me. My shows have been kicked off YouTube and banned on places, and so has the doctors who were talking about COVID and the scientists that talk about global warming. And anyone who is against those things is evil, and they're banned, and their careers are ruined. And that's exactly what the Nazis did. And they did all that stuff, and they killed the Jews to boot. And those are the people that are telling us that we're wrong. They're the ones that are supporting the Jew-hating terrorists, that anti-Semite terrorists, and that are stifling free speech and stifling gun ownership, and which is kind of funny because, again, that's what Hitler did. He did it. And that's what they're doing, but we're the tyrants? You gotta be kidding me. Gotta be kidding me. So, okay, we're gonna have to knock it off because, again, I could go on, and but we won't. Let's see, I don't know, let's just slap up picture 12 just for a minute. I even forget what this picture is. I don't even remember. I don't even know what I'm doing. Oh, okay. This was a thread. This is the conspiracy theory. Here we go. Breaking news. Brown University mass shooter yelled Ali Akbar before opening fire on campus, according to sources. How come the media is suppressing eyewitness testimony about how the shooter at Brown University allegedly shouted Ali Akbar before he opened fire on the campus the night before the first night of Hanukkah? The media is only saying he shouted something before he opened fire. Sources tell Laura Loomer he yelled Ali Akbar and is being kept quiet. Okay, you can take that down. Again, it's just one thing after another. They just lie, and it's out there, but you know, if you're not looking for it, you're not going to find it. And if you just look at the headlines and don't understand the details, it's pathetic. But you got to know that God loves you, and the great controversy is all about love and hate, good and evil. And it will never end. And again, the original argument is all about the founding of this country, the Federalist Papers that explain what our country really is and how it should run, and how we're so far from what the founding fathers want. Is pathetic. We're supposed to have citizen representation, citizen-run government, but these people aren't citizens. They're professional political hacks who are just looking out for themselves. They go in as paupers and come out as billionaires because they're lying, cheating, and stealing. And I don't know about you, but I know I ain't voting those people in because I haven't voted for a winner in years. All right, that's it. Let's put up picture number 10. We got to go to number 10. I'm running out of time, but well, we can make it. You got to remember, God has a plan for your life, and the enemy has a plan for your life. Just be ready for both. Be wise enough to know which one to battle and which one to embrace. And it's that simple. It's that simple. Life is tough. Wear a helmet and make sure you know who's your friend and who's your enemy. Okay? God loves you, and he's got a plan for you, and let's try to find God's plan and not Satan's plan. Okay? So, again, we'll see you next year, and have a Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever holiday, happy holidays, and have a safe and prosperous New Year. We'll see you in January. Lord knows what's going to happen, but we'll be there. Good night.